Well, Ray, we got some nice warm weather today and tomorrow, but it's going to come at a cost. What are you tracking?
Well, we've been melting, and that's been the big thing today, and that may seem great, but up to the north, they have a lot more snow, and they have a lot more melting to do, and that's filling into the ground. That's why we have some flood watches up to the north. These click in to play at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning and stay in effect until 7 o'clock Friday morning, and it's because we've been melting. We're going to get rain on top of that, and there is some ice still on the rivers that could create some ice jams. Now, that's going to take a little longer to work downstream, so on Saturday, New Kensington up to Harrison, almost down to Oakmont on the Allegheny there's a flood watch for the potential of some water rises as well. So that's a spot to watch for you as we get into the weekend, even though the rain's going to be stopping. We get the rain tomorrow, and then it changes over to some light snow for early Friday before coming to an end, but there's still going to be some lingering effects in spots heading into the weekend. So we are looking at some very warm temperatures again tomorrow with that rain. The flood potential continues into Friday, and as I showed you, even Saturday as well in that New Kensington area along the Allegheny. Futurecast shows we get through the night mainly dry. There might be just a very isolated passing sprinkle, but once we get into about 9-10 a.m., that rain starts to draw in, and some of it's on the heavier side. That's where you see the yellows and oranges coming in here. So we're going to get a few waves of this heavy rain coming throughout the course of the day. Even at 4 p.m., we're still dealing with widespread rain in the area, but the heaviest of it comes into play around between 6 and 8. And this is where we have some very heavy rain with the cold front. This will come with some gusty winds as this front's coming in, but again, a real quick dose of some pretty hefty rainfall as this front slides by as well. That will move on, and then by the time we're getting close to midnight, we're going to see that transition over to a mix and then to snow. But when it comes to the wintry part of this, little to no accumulations expected. When it comes to the wet part of this, a good deal of accumulation is expected. We're looking at in excess of 1 inch of rain, some spots trying to flirt with 1.5 inches of rainfall as this system comes through. This is on top of the snow melt, which is saturating the ground, and this is pretty much a real good recipe for some flooding, especially in those flood watched areas up to the north. So that's what we're alerting you about. That's why we have alert days in play for tomorrow. We're going to continue melting all the way through the night with our temperatures staying in the 40s and 50s through the night and staying warm tomorrow until that front comes through very, very late. So we're going to be melting. We're going to add rain on top of it, and we could be looking at some issues, especially north of Pittsburgh. And that's what we're alerting you about. But tonight, it's 48 degrees. We're going to stay warm, mostly cloudy and breezy, so not a bad night. But tomorrow, right out of the gate, we're going to see cloudy skies, but you go a few hours after sunrise and the flood watch clicks in and the rain turns on, and it does not look like it wants to turn off through the day. So a very wet setup for the day tomorrow with that flood watch beginning at 10 and lasting into Friday morning. That's why we have an alert day there as well. Saturday, it looks like a very isolated area for flooding around New Kensington. We're going to monitor that very closely, especially with what the ice is doing and the water's doing as it comes down the Allegheny River into your area. And then into next week, we warm it up again with some shower chances for Tuesday and Wednesday. But it looks like the worst part of this forecast is the next 48 hours.